Hey.
I'll delay it. I couldn't get it.
Nothing was as good as the first one.
No. Why'd you move it?
To this sound!
Oh, wait.
Same wavelength.
Yeah.
ASMR jams.
You know, the orange one's actually the
That's
best.
That's what
One
we
out
should
of
do.
You sure?
Yeah, it's actually the best out of the
You went-
three.
Ooh.
The strawberry, not good. The other one, not good. This one's tolerable.
We should make ASMR for our song.
We should.
Hey!
Like the
Yes. Great idea.
Beautiful.
You're really onto something right there.
Yes, definitely.
Anyway, hello guys. Welcome back to the Undiagnosed ADHD podcast. Hey! I don't know about y'all, but I got my ass kicked today. What
It's
do we
just
do? What do we
today?
do?
I got kicked all week. It's fine.
It's,
All week.
yeah, it's also been
All
a week.
We
All
still
week.
have one more day.
Oh.
Yay! I'm just gonna call out tomorrow.
No!
No.
No.
Nah, bitch.
Nah,
That's not
you-
happening.
You call out, we're fucked.
Okay.
You can't call it either. I can't call it out. It's tomorrow's Friday. Suck it up. One more.
Fine.
I'll just call half the day.
You only got half a day.
We got half the day.
Yeah,
no
no
big
big deal. No big deal. I mean, why do you think we're drinking these?
Yeah.
It's
must
been a
be
week.
Nice.
It's been a week.
Mm-hmm. So, what was the most challenging part of your guys' week this week?
Oh, man.
Waking up. Living.
Honestly,
Waking up,
Existing.
processing my morning routine.
not looking at the clock going, it's not 7 o'clock yet, and calling out.
That's true.
Still in bed. I do that on my way to work. I'm like, it's 6:45. I have 15 minutes.
I can still call
I can
out.
still call out.
Kirsten's gonna kill me if I don't.
Yep.
Call out by 7.
I always call out by 7.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just
I know.
thought process.
Yeah, no, Kirsten's gonna kill me. Yeah.
I think just the sheer amount, the volume of work that I had this week was
Mhm.
the most challenging
Mm-hmm.
because it was so overwhelming that literally today my brain started to shut down
Mhm.
and then I couldn't work because I was
Yeah.
like,
There was just too
and then I
much.
froze.
Well, and it's very true that you're like, for people who have ADHD, you have fight, flight, freeze
Mm-hmm.
processing. So
Oh,
when there's
freeze.
too much happening, or we're overwhelmed, or we're having too many things that we have to do at once, our brain literally shuts down, and we're like, I don't know what to do at any point right now.
Yeah.
It was kind of scary today, actually. I really felt like something was wrong with me. I could not get myself out of it. I was sitting there at my desk, writing, and then I would do that. And then there would be no thoughts in my brain. And then I'm like, what's happening? Like, am I dying? Is my brain just shutting down? Am I gonna just pass away? I hope. Just kidding.
No passing
I
away.
hope. I mean, you guys saw my Snapchat. I literally just saw it all happen.
I know, I was watching, I was like, wow, there's nothing going on there.
Yep.
No
I
worries.
could tell as soon as you started to start complaining about the
That
guy in
guy.
the video. I could hear it in your voice. Just the thought was here, and then I could literally see it go.
It's like, goodbye.
It just left.
And then it did not come back.
You saw, your brain was like, the gears were going, how do I go back on track?
No,
How do I
was
get back on
It
track?
was the spinning
coming.
wheel of death
It's
loading on the
coming, yeah.
computer. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
what was the most challenging part of your week?
Most challenging
So
part of the week? I think it was just the change in routine. So we have, had the same routine for a while, do the same thing, and bringing on a new person throws in a different task, adds in another step. Not that
Yeah.
it's not part of my job, but of course, yes. But it changed the routine, having to
Yeah.
get myself out of, oh god, we've been doing X, Y, and Z this whole time. Now I have,
I had to train a new person.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to learn them and their quirks and
Mhm.
things, and that's tough.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
What about you, Kat?
I think it's just it's not even,
It's the fan.
my brain goes, what? Sorry.
Sound.
A squirrel. I'm so sensitive to sound. It's not even funny. I'm just trying to think. I think it's just feeling like I'm not getting stuff done. Like, I am, but, like, I feel like I'm not getting stuff done. And I'm like, my list it's going down, but I'm like, it's not going down enough.
Yeah.
Something always replaces something.
I'm like, cool, I got this done. Crap, now I gotta add this onto it. I'm like, it's never ending. And I was like, I still have to jump over here. And then, like,
You have to do this.
I have to do this and this. And I'm like, I just need to get this one thing done.
And
So
you have school, too, as well.
Same. Yep.
Yeah, that was it? What day is Friday? Thursday?
Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday. Yeah, whatever day.
It's not Friday.
It's not Friday.
I wish.
Yeah, yesterday I had homework due, and I knew about the homework assignment, and I went to go, like, click the link. It was like, access denied. I was like, what do you mean?
Oh, God.
I was like, it's due tonight. And I, like, emailed the teacher. She goes, I sent out an announcement saying we weren't going to do it because the link expired. And I was like, I went back. I was like, maybe I missed it. I was like, nope. Nope. And I was like, I didn't get it. I didn't know. She goes, oh, well, now you know. And I was like,
So you didn't have to do it?
I didn't have to do it. So, like,
So you're stressing for
I
nothing.
was stressing for no reason about getting this stupid
gosh.
assignment done. I was like, what? Like, did you miss me? Like,
Did you not include me on the
did you
email?
not include me in the email? Like, am I not important enough to you?
And there comes that, like, low self-esteem.
Yeah, I was
like,
Intrusive thoughts.
I was like, okay, thanks. And she goes, okay, thanks for, like, letting me know. I was like, it's a two-way street, lady. Like,
yeah.
I'm paying for this class.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys know I do not like in-person shit. So I do all my classes online.
Yeah, for
Except for this damn lab class has to be in person for the labs, and it's a hybrid, and I fucking hate it. And this week, my lab partner, usually her and I vibe pretty well, and this week she was on my damn fucking nerves.
Ooh. Tell me about
Because,
it.
yeah.
I'm gonna gossip.
Okay. If I don't understand something or I'm processing it the wrong way, and someone points it out in a not constructive way, it like triggers me, and it sets me into a whole like panic attack, or it says like I get kind of flustered and stuff. And this week I wasn't understanding the lab, even though I had done the homework and stuff. I was just very frustrated with it.
Yeah.
And I was explaining my thought process, and the other lab people were like, yeah, that makes sense, that's where I'm going with it. And she was just so snarky about it. Like,
Excuse me?
like how I was mixing up control versus independent.
Okay.
And I was explaining my thought process and why I thought it was this one versus this one. And she's like, no, remember, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, because okay. I don't like being told, well, remember, blah, 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 in a way where it's like, that's not helpful. Clearly, I understood it differently. Clearly, I misunderstood it.
Yeah.
Explain to me in a way that is helpful and not like a slap in the face.
Like, you're stupid. How could you not remember that?
Did you pay attention? Yeah,
Layman
exactly.
terms.
Yeah, and I hate that. And that's where I always struggle in school, is if I am not understanding something and the teacher or someone's supposed to be helpful and they don't explain in a way for me to understand, I get more frustrated.
Yeah.
I am very much a visual learner, and I have to see it done, and I have to then do it, and then you give me feedback in the moment. And one of the things I always struggle with is math and all that stuff.
Right there with you.
Like, I remember being in high school, and this is pre even understanding or realization of having ADHD, is I always thought I was just fucking dumb because I didn't understand math.
That makes me sad.
Absolutely. I feel you.
Yeah.
I 100% feel you.
I had a math teacher, instead of sitting me down and saying, hey, I see you're struggling, how can I help you understand this better, in front of the entire class says, hey, Kirsten, I think you're choosing to fail this class.
Whoa.
He's like, you're not doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah, and I was a sophomore in high school.
Absolutely not.
And
man should not be a teacher.
no. And I looked at it and I was like, I just don't understand. And I already right then and there was like frustrated because I wasn't understanding it, but he wasn't explaining it and like in a way that made sense for everybody. He just threw the things up there and said, this is what it is.
Yeah, he would tailor it to each of you individually.
Or pick up on someone struggling, pull them aside and say, hey, I would like to help you some more. Can you come in and do some tutoring with me or something? And I actually ended up failing the class. And I remember leaving that day sobbing. And you guys know me, I don't cry. And I was crying in class, like my lip was puckering and I'm like, oh god. But I also remember sitting at the couch with my dad trying to explain math to me. And I'm like, I don't fucking get it. And I of course wasn't cussing because it was my dad and I got my ass beat. But I remember just sitting there and feeling like an idiot and not like incompetent because my brother is a whiz at math. My sister may not be like a whiz, but she understood it and she was very school smart. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not school smart. I'm just sports. I'm more athletic than anything. And I guess that's where I'm going to have to go in my life because I can't catch on to this.
Yeah. And
so many nights I would have panic attacks and I would get in the mood where I would shut down. My dad trying to explain it and I was like, I don't understand this. It's not making sense to me. I'm done, and I wouldn't let anyone help me.
Yeah.
And I got to that point recently with my pre-calc class. That's why I decided to drop it because it wasn't making sense, and no matter how many times I reached out and made some kind of sense, it still caused, like, I think I told you guys, I had a panic attack because I'm like, it's not making sense.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, it's not that it doesn't make sense, it's just, it's harder for me and it needs to be a different way for me to learn.
Yeah, like it's not that you're stupid or you don't understand it. It's not being presented in a way that you perceive that it makes sense. Your brain is like, no, not comprehending.
Yeah.
Show it to me a different way. Explain it a different way.
Especially with math. Everybody's like, some people, you and I, we're visual. Some people you just tell them what to do. Some people like, you have to baby it and like do it with them. Like, I am like you. You have to show me step by step by step. Because you can go 5 steps and like, how'd you get 4?
And even then,
I got 27.
I got 27. How the fuck did you get 4?
Yeah.
Like
which step did I miss? Or whatever, right? And even that sometimes, I'm like, I understand what you did. I just don't know how you got there.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, it makes sense, but if I had to do it on my own, I'm not going to follow all of that.
That's how it was when I was doing I also fucking, was it dropped. I called out.
You dropped out.
I dropped out of the pre-calc because my teacher wasn't giving me what I needed. Like, I was asking for help, and I can't remember, like, verbatim what she said, but essentially, like, was saying, like, you suck. Like, come see me. Like, you know, it's like, don't shame me because I'm struggling. Like, say, hey, how can I help you? Come see me. I'm more than willing. Instead of saying, you suck.
Well, yeah. Like, my math teacher was like, everybody can do math. Anybody can do it. I don't believe that anyone's bad at math. You just need to learn it a different way. And like, hey, I can see where you're coming with that, but no, there are people who genuinely don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's kind of biased or whatever word you want to call it, ignorant or whatever, to just assume, well, they need to learn it differently because anybody can catch on to math.
Yeah, we can all be engineers and mathematicians and scientists. Like, that's why we have people who are smart like that to do those things. And then we have people who are really strong in other areas like language arts or even sports. You know, PE is their jam. That's why we have those people, because we can't all be super smart. That's not how that works. I mean,
Fuck off.
I have great GPAs and was great in school, so I can't really say that. But I did struggle. I really did. I took calculus my senior year of high school, and I got a B, and that was the only class I got a B in. I had straight A's on all my other ones, and it really bummed me out. And so my freshman year of college, I retook calculus to prove to I needed a math class. I retook calculus to prove to myself that I could get an A, and I got a B.
Oh.
So we're not all perfect. We're not all good at math.
Yeah. And I can get that. Like, I genuinely was like, a C is fine. A C is for college. That's literally what I
A B's actually really good, so.
D's get degrees, guys.
I don't know.
My teacher,
to those of you who don't get B's, it's okay. C's get degrees, and that's all you need.
My teacher, well, in college, D's don't, but.
C's get degrees.
C's, yeah, exactly. But in high school, I had a teacher say D is for diploma, and that's all.
It's so true, though.
I was like, I love that. Like,
so
that's perfect.
True.
But yeah, no, I think, like, of course, you have an expectation of, I want this. This is where I need to be. I know it can be there, and it's the part of you can get there, but it's the struggle, right? Where you're like, why can't I get this? Or why is, I mean, you got it. You had to be, right? But it wasn't to where your expectations were.
Yeah. And everyone's standards are different. You know, just because I understood it probably more than you guys did doesn't mean, like, I still didn't struggle with it. I was still getting really frustrated. I remember when I was a little kid, you saying that about your dad literally just brought up a core memory
Yeah.
of my life.
Core memory unlocked.
With me and my dad.
Unlocked.
It was, I forgot what grade
I don't
I
know.
was in. I think I was in like first grade and we were working on division. I don't know what grade you work on
First grade?
division. When do you work on division? Second grade, maybe?
Second.
Third?
I don't know, but fuck
Fourth?
division.
I was probably in like second grade or something, and I don't remember. But I had a whole division sheet, and it had like 20 questions on it. Do you remember those? Where you had to like do
Mhm.
all the division
And you had, like, a
Like
minute
the
to do
long
it?
division.
Yeah, long division.
Fuck long division.
And-
I'm pretty sure that was 4th grade or 5th grade for me.
Okay, well, it was probably before because my parents got divorced when I was in 4th grade, and so my dad wasn't there after that, so it must have been before that. And I'm sitting here at the table, and he's trying to show me how to do all of the division, and I'm getting so frustrated because I don't get it that I started crying.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can't figure this out. And
Yeah.
he's getting frustrated with me. Like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I can only explain it to you one way because our parents, just shout out to our parents for doing their best. If I had a kid right now and they were like, hey, can you teach me how to do fractions?
No. That's your
Go
dad.
go find your tutor. I have no idea.
I can tell you 2 + 2, and that's it. Like, that's as far as my math
And
goes.
they changed the way you figure math out anyways. It's a whole different way. It's not like 2 + 2 or 2 whatever plus 2 is 4.
Mhm.
It's not like 5 minus 2 is 3.
Different ways of doing
Really?
Yeah,
it
you
now.
have to. Don't quote me, but it's something like you bring it to like the nearest, whatever. If it's 10, rephrase. If it's 18, you would take it to 10, and then you'd have the 8, and then if it was like 21 or something, you'd do 20 and 1, and you'd add that, and then add. It's really fucking
The
complicated,
fuck?
and
I
I
have no idea what that
think
means.
anybody who have ADHD is gonna struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your worst subject in school?
Math.
Yeah.
I
Math.
excelled in
Mhm.
language. English was
Same.
my go-to
Yeah?
subject. I could write essays all day long.
Yeah, that was easy for you.
Yeah,
Same.
'cause I could just words. Words were easy. Just throw on a piece
Words
of
were
paper.
easy.
Yeah.
Because there's so much up here. I'm like,
Yeah, like, I'll just put it on paper.
Yeah.
so easy.
Here
I
you
would-
go.
I wrote David's essays in college. I wrote and I did
Cheater.
it.
Cheater.
Nobody said it, but he was helping me with my math. So like,
Aw,
So
you
he did
guys-
your math and he
that's
did
so
his-
sweet.
he didn't do my math because he was like, you need to learn.
No, you don't.
He goes,
Here's my
I'll
test taken
help
for me.
you. Like, he was really good about like trying to help me with math, but like at one point he's helping. I'm just like crying because I'm like, I don't get it.
Mhm.
And he goes, but it's easy.
Freeze mode.
I was like,
Mhm.
I'm done. And then I get so frustrated and so mad. I'm like, fuck this. I'm done. Like,
Yeah, I give up.
and then I take it. But you can't give up. No, I'm done.
I need a break.
I need a
I'm
break.
all done.
All done.
All done. All done.
All done.
Break.
Yeah, I think my worst subject was probably science because I did not understand the elements. Like, okay, maybe not
No.
science, but chemistry.
Yeah.
Chemistry. I didn't understand how all those things worked together and then why there's math involved in
Yeah.
chemistry.
Adding your
What's
elements
going
together
on?
in the
And
See,
how to find things and, you know.
sticking.
That
Sorry.
was my tongue. With your fucking ring.
I'm not wearing a ring.
Something hit my
I'm
toe.
in my knuckle.
Get
Sorry.
some dry knuckles, need some lotion.
No, she like dug it in onto my.
I didn't,
Oh!
didn't even feel your toe. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, my fucking toe felt it.
I'm sorry, Kirsten.
Abuse.
I'm drooling. I'm done.
That's so much faster.
Is your toe okay though?
No, it's red.
I'm sorry, toe.
Poor Will.
It really is red.
Yeah,
I'm not kissing it.
I don't want you to kiss my.
It's so gross.
I'm not in your toes.
Didn't know we had some little piggies up in here.
Well,
Man, you guys are both crying on the podcast.
either laugh or cry, right?
Oh my gosh, my literal motto. If you don't laugh, you're just gonna cry.
Yeah, I'd rather laugh
Or
or
you
cry
start
than cry.
crying and then you're so hysterical you start laughing. That was me the other night. Oh.
Yeah, I've been there too.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
My little piggy went to the market over there.
It got chopped up and made
it got tenderized.
And I gotta close my legs for pee my pants. Being a mom sucks. Okay?
Hold on, I have to laugh.
Hold on, let me cross.
Oh man, I'm done.
I think it's on my other couch.
I don't want to have to clean my couch. You're cleaning it.
Oh, I would. I will not make you do that. Okay, anyways.
We needed that laugh, honestly.
Science. Chemistry. I
hated it.
excelled in marine biology.
Really?
Ooh.
And I took that class because in high school we needed to have 3 science classes, and I took it my senior year because sophomore year I said I don't want to take a client.
You don't want to
class. I don't want it. So anyways.
Okay.
No.
So I took marine biology. It was like a filler class. I was not doing chemistry. I was not doing anything else. That was what, right? And I took this class, and it talks about all like the ocean, right, and animals and all that stuff. And I excelled in that class.
Yeah.
I was the only senior. The rest were sophomores and juniors, and I had to take the class final for that semester first because of graduation, and I got a B in that class.
Wow.
It was honestly probably the first B I had ever gotten in any kind of like a left-sided class, like a literal
sciencey,
mathy
STEM
kind of
type
class.
class.
Yeah, and I was so proud of myself. I remember my teacher. I loved him. We had to dissect a lot, so we dissected dog sharks, crabs, squids.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I dissected a pig.
A whole bunch of different.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
It's
that's so sad. I never.
It was kind of cool. I was like, probably a little too excited.
Well, we
I
didn't.
was like,
Open wide.
Well, yeah, a dog shark was like this big. We had to do all that too. And I remember I had dragged my friend into the class, and she was like, and she didn't expect it. And so all the part, like the dissecting part, I'm legit like, ooh, doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then we had to draw what we saw, right?
Oh.
I am artistic, right? I like to draw. And when I got done drawing everything and I gave it to him, he kept it, and he said, "This is the best I've ever seen of someone draw, like a crab, like on all the insides, right?" So he kept it as a
like an example for
nice.
the other kids.
Yes.
Wow, Miss Artiste over here.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take art class?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
You excel in that one too.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, how do you not excel in art class?
I don't know. I didn't take art. I took
it
chorus as my like extracurricular activity.
Oh, chorus.
I took art
in
junior year, and I took art in 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
But I did theater all 4 years.
Really?
Okay.
I mean,
come on. The spotlight.
It's the theatrics.
She begs for it.
I do
Just
that.
gravitates towards you.
My shy personality on
stage.
stage. That didn't work. And it was only in like probably one play because I was so shy.
Oh.
But I remember one of my this is so off topic, but senior year was probably my best year because I was like comfortable and I had been with these people for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
For our final theater whatever, we were grouped to different like groups, and we all had to put on a show, and we had to make our own rendition of this play. And my part in it was the psycho wife. My husband had cheated on me with his receptionist.
Ooh.
And I had to go and like I found out that he had cheated on me, and I had to like do all this stuff. And I found out the girl, figured out they were cheating, and then I killed her.
Oh.
And then I had to like sob cry on stage and talk about like our life and stuff. And then it was he like killed me like straight up, and we had the sound going where I had to wait until you heard the gunshot go, and then I had to react.
Yeah.
So I had to do that, and it was probably my best ever.
Where's the video?
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to see
There's
this.
no video. There's no video.
Damn.
But I'll show you what I looked like that in there.
Do a rendition of it later. I'd like to see that.
I would
Do it.
love to see that.
Yeah, that's very on topic. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I mean, I excelled in that. Yeah, I like to act.
Yeah. Did you guys know that you were a little special in high school?
No.
Or even in college? Like, did
No.
you ever realize, like, I might have ADHD?
I realized it 4 years ago.
Okay. What made you? Was it school?
Lauren?
Okay.
And Lauren.
So someone had to tell you that you had it.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
might
never
have
would
it.
have thought
Okay.
I
Well,
had
you
any
can.
ADHD.
I was too busy messing around with boys in high school to notice. So,
Oh, that's cute.
It's just where I was at
too.
in high school.
Okay.
That was
College,
Can't relate.
definitely college, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I had to take college algebra 3 times before I passed the class.
Same.
It was just different teacher, because I was like, maybe this teacher just...
The teacher matters.
Oh, it does.
And so that's what I was taking. I would take a different teacher every time,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, you're not doing it for me. And once I got to the 4th time, third time,
Like, you said third.
whatever, this teacher, like, got me. Like, he would actually sit down and do it. I also excelled in... Sorry, random... we talked about, like, ancient, like, civilizations.
Oh.
And we even went to there's one in downtown Phoenix. We went there and I was all about it. We were talking about, like, the
An
difference.
ancient civilization.
I have to Google it, but because again we were dealing with, like, bodies, like the differences.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
That's why.
This is why Kat loves murder.
Mhm. So that was really fun, and I also was, like, slight teacher's pet. I've always been a teacher's pet
Me too.
with certain teachers, like
Me too.
I was
high.
fuck you guys.
Oh yeah, no high
We
school.
would not have gotten along in high school. I was such a
Okay,
goody two shoes,
my
getting good grades.
Dad worked at my high school,
Oh.
so I didn't have to be a teacher's pet. He just checked up on me, and all the teachers knew to email him when I was slacking off. So that's why I was like, fuck you
Yikes.
guys. Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Ancient
Yeah.
civilization.
Are you looking it up? I wanna see
Something.
what it is.
But we went there. It was really cool, and we went every day for a week.
Ooh,
Like, I purposely
that's
was like,
cool.
field trip, fuck yeah, let's go.
In college?
In college. I think it was
Oh.
my first or second year. I had to have some weird, like, other sort
Oh,
of...
how come?
No.
No?
Oh, come.
No. It's in downtown Phoenix. Like,
History of Phoenix.
it's right by the light rail. It's not a hope, no. But I had to go take that, thrived in that.
Mm-hmm.
Computer science, absolutely not.
I had to
No.
cheat in one of my computer classes in college. Like, you had to take it, and my roommate and I took it at the same time. And it was all about how to use, like, Excel, but also
Mhm.
coding. And,
Yep.
and I was like, help.
You even had the book.
I had
you had
cheat.
to, like...
Yes.
I was like, I read this and I
failed
look,
in it.
I got a C.
Yeah,
I was
no,
like,
I
darn, I don't...
Paleo Indians?
The what?
No,
What?
Paleo Indians?
no.
Yeah, no, I had to cheat in that. Because I literally couldn't understand it.
Yes.
I don't...
Sorry, keep going.
No,
I'm listening.
I don't... Yeah, that one sucked. But I think it was just college, when I was, like,
Yeah.
on top of full-time no. Full-time college on top of... I think I was working almost full-time at Best Buy.
Oh, okay.
At
Where
the
you're
time.
like, I'm juggling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to handle this.
Mhm.
This is challenging.
And I was, like, in between, like, this is where, like, David and I's relationship was still, like, so slightly new that, like, I was still living at home, but then I was also with him.
Mm.
So I was, like, also trying to balance all that.
Mhm. Yeah. So you just had a lot going
I had
on.
a lot going on.
A chemo.
No,
Oh,
Yeah, I don't-
Odaham.
no,
Also known as Pima.
no,
Pima.
Yabapai.
no.
You'd think it would be.
Maricopa. Just kidding.
It's in downtown Phoenix.
There is 50 million of them that are downtown Phoenix.
It's this little...
I said
Okay, you...
ancient civilizations. And okay.
Okay.
So sorry.
Yeah. I didn't realize that I had ADHD until I met you guys. And you're like, you kind of act like we do. And I was like, ooh.
The last
Do
year,
I-
it's been us like progressively telling her you have it.
Yeah. Just like a little bit. I have a touch. I have a touch.
Pueblo Grande Ruins.
Say that again.
Pueblo Grande Ruins.
Pueblo Grande Ruins. The Ruins. She's snorting again. Anyways, where was it? The Pueblo
Grande.
We're all gonna get canceled for how
Grande?
pronouncing that. Oh my god! Grande cup.
Pueblo Grande Ruin.
Pueblo.
Pueblo.
Not Pueblo. Pueblo.
Leave me alone, guys.
Pueblo.
Pueblo Ruins.
You know what I call
Get David on here right now for Sphere.
Spear.
Spear. There we go.
Pickle spear.
Pickle spear.
There you go. You
What
got
was
it.
the other word that you struggled with?
Lozengers.
Lozengers?
That was a
Lozengers?
whole panic attack in itself.
What were you calling it?
Great question. That is a David question, but we were in bed
Hey,
for...
David.
Kat doesn't
Just
Kat doesn't need to relive this, or else she'll have another one right on,
She
on
has
camera.
seen me go, I don't know what I was...
We were at my old apartment. It was me, Alec, you, and
Sorry,
David,
it's my
and
itchy
you'd
leg.
come over
My
to
hairy leg itchy.
you'd come over and we were eating dinner, and I have a video of it. And you and Alec were laughing about something, and you laughed so hard you started to cry, like panic cry a little bit.
We kind of saw it.
So
You did, yeah, but
Yeah.
like...
Well, I get
like
it
kinda cried.
Inconsolable.
though. Where it just turns, yeah. I've had
Yeah,
that.
no, David had, it was just saying lozenger, kind of like I still struggle, and I'm not doing
Want
it on
some
purpose.
schmear with that spear?
I'm not doing it on purpose. I
Dip your
genuinely
spear
can't
in
say the
schmear.
word. And so for, I don't know how long, poor David's over here trying to deal with me saying
He's like,
lozenger.
spear.
Oh, I was giving him a panic attack. Because I'd say it, and then I'd revert back to
Spear.
but not on purpose.
I
I...
want. No, you have to. It's the
Oh.
hamburger. I want a hamburger. I want a hamburger. You can't say it. That's the.
I
Hey,
have
Heather.
in my pocket a couple of hamburgers.
Hamburger.
Hamburger.
I don't know how they say it.
Hamburger. Hamburger.
Hamburger.
Hamburger. Hamburger.
Yes. That was Kat.
That was me. But yes. But math is not my strong suit by any means.
Yeah, when I was in school.
You heard that.
What?
Nothing, continue.
I was laughing at something else, and I didn't really hear what she said, but she goes, "You heard that," and laughed, and I said, "Okay, we'll roll with that."
Just
Anyways,
fine.
when I was in school, I didn't really struggle with too many subjects, but what I did struggle with was my time management skills.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I procrastinate like it is nobody's business. And I get it from my dad. My dad and I talk about this all the time. My dad works for a really fancy, important, high-tech company, and he's like a project manager, account manager, something like that. He's a sales guy. And his boss literally told him, Brian, I give you projects to do with very little time because I know that if I gave you a month to do it, you're going to do it in the last couple of days, and you're still going to put out good work, but I just know you're not going to do it. So I don't even bother giving it to you until the last minute, because I also know you do your best work
Mhm.
last minute.
Yep.
I
That's where
do
it comes from.
all of my best work last minute. When I went to ASU for my undergrad degree, and I was there at the honors college, so I had to write a thesis.
Could not imagine.
I kid you not, I waited until, and you're supposed to work on it for your entire senior year.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I barely worked on it, and if my thesis director ever hears about this, he's probably going to be like, "Yeah, I can kind of tell." I did all of it in like a month, probably.
That's how I was with
The
my
entire
research
like
paper
50
for
plus
statistics.
page thing.
Yeah,
Statistics.
We had to write, statistics, like it was research methods. So statistics I took the year before, and then I took research methods a year later.
Yeah.
Right? Even though I should have taken it.
Flip-flopped,
Yeah.
yeah.
I still need
Um,
to take that class.
But I took it, and you were supposed to have X, Y, and Z. So the entire thing was about picking a thing to research and
Mhm.
having your control and your variable and all that stuff. And while yes, I did pick it, I also picked a really hard subject to talk about. And when I finished it, he goes, "This is really good. A little confusing, but it was good." Got an
A
A.
little confusing.
But I literally waited to the last
Mhm.
minute. I mean, you
Yeah.
saw me. I passed all my surveys out, and I was like, "Hey guys, I need this done by today."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do all of my assignments the night before they were due. Like, the
Still do
due
that.
That's
date,
what I do right now.
you do it on the date.
30 minutes before class starts is what I do.
Yeah, I just do all my best work at the last minute because
Mhm.
if I have a lot of free time, I'm like, oh, I'll just do that later. But
Yeah.
I thrive in chaos, so when I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of stuff to do, that's when I'm like narrow focused.
Uh-huh.
If it's not pressing to finish right then and there, I don't have that focus
Mhm.
on it.
Fun fact. So I told you last time that family that lives in England I follow,
Yeah.
he had to switch his timing, like the way he says to his wife, "Hey, we have to leave in 5 minutes." He goes, "We have to leave in 300 seconds."
Oh.
Because
Interesting.
300 seconds is faster than 5 minutes. because we cannot process
Interesting.
time, right? In the sense
true,
of like
we can't.
5 minutes. My friend who lives 5 minutes from me, she says, Kirsten, you're always 10 minutes late, even though you live 5 minutes from me. And I'm like, no, I leave my house at this time. I get to your house. She goes, no, we expect you to be late. So when you say you're going to be at our house at this time, we expect you to be
Is that
5
yours?
minutes late.
Or was that mine? That was yours.
What?
That scream. That was yours.
The scream?
Yeah.
What scream?
Her,
High pitch.
she's looking because she has a thought right here of, this is cat, I do this is cat, or oh,
No,
I'm
I
late.
thought you looked at me because that's me. You always just expect
She's
me to
talking
be
about
late.
one of your partners screaming out there, and
Yeah.
you and I are on the same
Oh,
wavelength,
I'm not
then
even
she's
listening.
distracted.
Oh, see, sorry guys.
That was mine. I just heard that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but yes, so I'm like, okay, that's so funny.
Mhm.
But then Lauren, when I'm telling her this, and Lauren lives 45 minutes from me, right? I was 10 minutes early here because it's longer than the 5 minutes. So she said, when I told her that my friend Kelsey was like, Kirsten, you're always late. I expect you to be late to everything.
Mhm.
Lauren's like, that is so funny. You're never late with me because I live out. She lives outside that 5 minute mark.
Oh,
So I have-
See, so you plan differently.
Right, because you're like, oh, it's 45 minutes. If I don't leave now, I'm gonna be late.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 minutes, that's just 5 minutes, that's whatever. And then ends up being late because your mind cannot track the short increments, right?
That does make sense because 5 minutes can sometimes feel like 1 minute or 10 minutes. Like
Yeah.
the idea of time in that sense is
Mhm.
definitely weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
you're
he started saying, he started telling
Okay.
her 300 seconds, because that equals up to 5 minutes. And they'll be on time, and she's like rushing, goes, we need to go do this, we need to go do that. And he's like, why does it matter? And she goes, because 300 seconds is faster than 5 minutes.
I
Because of
kind
the-
of get it. I
Mhm.
kind of get it.
that makes sense.
No, I'm literally always late to everything.
Yeah.
I'm late to everything. And it doesn't help that Alec is also terrible at time management. So if it's 15 minutes away, I will walk out of my house
At the 15-minute mark?
at the 15-minute mark, not giving myself a buffer period of, oh, I didn't finish getting ready in time, or, oh, I thought it was going to take me 30 minutes to get ready, but it took me 35 minutes, and I'm 5 minutes behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's just expect me to be late. Just expect me to be late.
What do you think the days I show up late to work is because, oh, it only takes me 30 minutes. No, it takes me like 45 minutes at this point now
To drive to work?
to drive to work. Not because I'm slow, I'm fast,
Mhm.
but traffic is so heavy now.
You don't plan for that.
Right, so I'm like, oh, I can leave at 6:30, but then I'll end up getting there at 7:15 when I should really
Yeah.
be, I mean, that's my time I tell myself to start
Yeah.
anyways. But I try to get there at least by 7,
Mhm.
and so I have to leave. I know if I leave any later than 6:15, I'm going to be late.
Yeah. Good for you. I don't know how to do that. I just procrastinate. I'll sit on my couch, don't drink my coffee, and I know that I have to start getting ready by X time, and then the time will pass, and I'm like,
Okay, can I tell you
one
guys
more
something?
TikTok.
Was it one of the
more
5
video.
C's confession?
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey!
So last week, when I said, oh, I fell asleep, I didn't fall asleep. I was reading a book, and it went past the time. And I just lied and said, oh, I fell asleep, but really I just lost track of time. And I still needed to shower. So when you called me, I was like, I should have been dressed and ready to go by now, and I didn't.
I called Kirsten, and I was like, hey, are we gonna prank Kat? Like, what, do we have all the stuff? And you actually sounded tired, genuinely.
Are we talking about like today?
No, last week.
When we tried to prank you.
Oh,
So I
okay,
called her and I
yes.
said, hey, do you have all the stuff for the prank? Da da da. What, do you need any help? You were like, oh, I should probably start getting ready. Sorry, I fell asleep. You woke me up. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you probably should, get going. Like, I'll see you when I see ya.
But I should be leaving my house at 11:50 because it was to me at 12.
You were reading a
I was
book.
reading a really good book. Okay.
Thank you for the confession. I forgive you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It happens.
You're forgiven.
It is what it is.
Reading is my secret pleasure.
It is what it is.
Those naughty books though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't read them.
I want to
What?
get into some naughty books.
I have a plethora.
Give me.
Okay. What kind? We'll talk later. I don't need to know my
It's a
smart
different
material.
topic.
Yeah. It's a different type of podcast.
Anyways, the reason why we're drinking this is because today was rough.
I am
Because a lot of things are happening at work, and it's very, very exhausting. It's very tough, and I don't know how to handle it sometimes.
not.
Like, how do you handle your stress? Because I don't know how to handle it. I just shut down and then get in a bad mood, and then I go
Yeah.
home, and then I let it out on Alec, And then
I let it out one Nova. I had to tell myself this morning, I was like, if I can be fucking chipper at work for these kids, I can be chipper at home with my kid.
Yeah.
And I think what I do that helps me, and not just drinking, I don't really drink that often, but when I am feeling like I really need to reset, I honestly just take a shower in the dark with a candle.
Oh.
And I literally just sit there and I play some nice songs and stop, you're freaking me out right now. What are you doing?
I couldn't remember if I blew out a candle or not.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I got scared.
So I will play like my songs I told you guys about like last time, or
sweet
my
piano music.
Yeah, and I'll just play that, and I will just like let whatever comes. And sometimes I actually end up crying in the shower, and I just need to release. Not like that, but it's like you feel it, and you just need to release it. And I think showers are nice to cry in because then it just feels like water hitting my face, and not that I'm actually crying.
Yeah, fair.
But, yeah, and so I'll do that. Sometimes I might just go to sleep earlier. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, you guys knew like all the shit, and I was feeling really like my mind felt really heavy. And when my mind is really heavy, I go to sleep like faster, I guess you could say.
Okay, that makes sense.
Exhausting.
Yeah, I'm just burnt out. My brain is fried. I just need to just turn it off.
Yeah.
But that is helpful. When I was more active, the gym was very helpful for me. So I would go to the gym, work out, do my thing, get it all out of my system. But I also had to be careful because when I was too stressed or I was too overworked, I would go to the gym, I was adding more stress to my body.
Oh.
And then I would have like moments where either blacking out or I'd be like overexhausted and I had to just like call it quits that time. But a lot of the time it's me just listening to calming music and having the lights off.
Okay. I'll have to try some of those. What do you do, Kat?
It depends. Sometimes I go home and I just become couch potato and I just doom scroll.
Potato.
Or sometimes I just sit and I watch TV. Sometimes I just lay in bed.
Yeah. Sometimes
all I need to do is talk. I guess it just depends on like what I am so stressed up about. Like if it's work, you guys or David. If it's just like internally, sometimes you guys or David, or sometimes I'm like, I just need me time.
Okay.
Just silence.
I just need silence, but not for too long, because then those intrusive thoughts, like on if I've had a really bad day at work, I cannot drive listening to music because my brain it'll start
to you.
I'm like, I'm listening, but then it starts fading out. I'm like, oh god, so I have to listen to some sort of podcast or something to where
like you have to actually pay attention.
I have to pay attention because I'm like, I've driven to work, or I've driven home on autopilot.
Oh yeah, me too.
All the time.
And I'm like, how did I get here? How the heck did I get here?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what? That's concerning.
Yeah.
It's actually, that's pretty normal, especially when it's such a routine. Your mind goes on autopilot because it's like a muscle that you've used often. There have been studies that show that people usually get in car accidents more often on their routes home because they're on the autopilot mode where they're driving.
It is concerning.
That
well, and that's
not paying attention.
Considering our car ride home.
I know.
But not in the not paying attention. You're comfortable to where you're like, I got this. Nothing's gonna happen.
I might look at my phone because I'm comfortable with where I'm at. I might send a text or something.
Yeah, I know where I'm going.
I'm guilty of that.
Absolutely.
I get that.
What do you do?
I don't know. I'm learning what to do. The dog has been helping in a way of a distraction where I think I need distractions from what's stressing me out. I don't necessarily need to calm down from it, but I need something else to distract me from it. So I'll come home and then I have to handle both of the dogs and then Alec, and there's so many different things going on. So I try to not let myself be a couch potato and doom scroll, because then I'll think about my stress, I'll think about all the things. But if I'm keeping myself busy, I feel more productive, and I don't feel like a piece of crap by just sitting there and doing nothing, letting the house get dirty, not doing all the chores that I need to do, whatever it might be. I'm actually doing something, so that makes me feel better because I'm being productive. And I'm like, I can check some of these things off my list that were like added stressors,
Mhm.
so that when like I have to tackle my actual big stressor, I don't have all these little other things, you know, in
Okay.
the background.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
So
Well, and too, like, a lot of the time with having ADHD, it is because we have the lack of motivation, and that
Mhm.
also plays, like, into our insecurities or into our, like, whatever feelings we may have. But then we feel most accomplished or more, like, out of our... What's the word?
Comfort zone?
Not comfort zone, but we get out of that repetitive cycle of stress.
oh yeah. Mhm.
When we start checking the boxes off because we feel like, okay, I actually did something today and it
Yeah.
was motivating enough for me to keep doing
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
Like when I do get out of my funks and I am able to like check boxes off, like do X, Y, and Z, it almost is like, well, not almost, like it is that stimulant of, oh wow, this is like new whatever that just happened, like this feeling I got, awesome, love, I want to keep doing it.
This little dopamine rush of, oh, I did it, I can check it off my list, now I'm feeling
Yeah.
a little bit better.
What else can I do? I'm like fucking Superman, whatever, you know?
Get on a roll.
Yeah, you like feel lighter and lighter as you check more things off of your boxes. That's why I love a good list, so I can visually see it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something else that is helpful too at work to manage all of the craziness that's going on in my brain, is putting it down on paper so that way I can visually see, oh, okay, it doesn't feel as, like, it doesn't look as bad on paper as it feels in my head.
Yeah.
So if
Makes
I write
sense.
it down, I can see it and then organize it in, you know, this is a priority, but this isn't, so I can save this for later. And, like, visually, it really helps to see those types of things. So that's the only way that I manage it at work. Lately, I have not been able to manage it at all. I just sit there and...
I mean, you saw me today and how I was managing mine.
Like, I just need to take a break.
I'm done.
We're done.
Yeah.
We just can't. But, I mean, it really sucks because, like, I see other people seeming like they have it all together. And I'm like, why can't I have it all together? Like, why don't I feel like...
But that's your imposter syndrome.
It's true.
Okay, so I told you guys I have that tattoo, right?
Yeah.
And it's on my shoulder, so I don't see it as often. So I had forgotten what it was. But it actually said.
Oh, I forget about all my tattoos.
Oh, yeah, no, I forget about this one sometimes. I'm like, it's
I
right
feel like
there.
this one.
Yeah,
And my ribs.
that's true.
Oh, yeah. How do you forget about your ribs?
Because I don't...
Your
It's
bra
like right
covers
under
it,
my
man.
bra area.
My bra covers both of mine.
And I don't exactly look at my body because I don't...
Like,
That's
I
a
don't
whole-
like it.
I don't love it.
I will too. I will look away very fast.
Like,
no,
getting
I
in the
critique
shower, I
it.
glance and go, whoop!
Oh, yeah, I do that. That's why I look away really fast.
Oh,
and I
no,
don't want to because I
have
will
to
sit
look
there.
at it.
I also, like, with my ADHD, I pick a lot. So I will, like, look at myself in the mirror and, like, okay, what are something that I can... It's just a bad habit.
No, nice.
I get that one.
Okay. It is... Imposter syndrome is a funny little liar designed to keep you safe but terrible at making you strong.
It really does keep you safe because you don't ever think that you're good enough to go outside of your comfort zone. So it just keeps you safe in your tiny little box,
Yeah.
and you never get to be strong and try new things and do new things and discover like new strengths about yourself.
Yeah.
Well, and okay, so I read this book. It was called Badass Habits, and I loved it. And I used a lot of the stuff. I implemented a lot of it, but it talks about like self growth and self growth. But anyways, and like how to just better be organized or have a better structure or just overcome those obstacles. And one of the quotes was talking about how in order to see growth, you need to be comfortable and be uncomfortable.
Oh, yep.
No, I'm not. I'm the first one to run to what's comfortable for me and just stay there.
Oh, I absolutely am too.
Oh gosh, it's terrifying.
But that's the
agree.
whole point, though. In order to see that growth, you need to get used to putting yourself out there and stepping out of your comfort zone, because that's where you're going to be able to see the changes and have those changes that you want to have.
Yeah, that's
It's fucking hard. I don't do that
It
often.
is very hard.
I had to do that a year ago when I got the new position, and
Same.
I didn't have anyone to direct me because I was now the director and had to learn all of the things and be everyone's go-to person. So I just had to.
You had to do it together.
We just had to do it, and it was terrifying, and I was so overstimulated all of the time, and I just felt like I'm drowning. I don't know what to do.
I think a lot of the errors that happened on my part was because I felt so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm missing this. And then it was my imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, how many times did I just cry because I was so frustrated that I was missing something that I shouldn't have missed.
Yeah.
But it was because it was like, cutting this, and it was my perfectionist coming out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then doing this, and like, oh, fuck, I missed that. And now I'm like, how do I even have this position? Because I fucking suck at this, and nobody should be listening to me. But
Kirsten, I literally went through that yesterday. I was so overwhelmed. This is why I almost cried yesterday at work. Is I was so overwhelmed by everything that was going on, and then I did an assessment, and it just felt really floppy, and I didn't feel like I had a good pairing with the kid. I didn't feel like I was running things as I needed to do, and the therapist was watching, and I was like, I am terrible at my job. I don't know what I'm doing. I just need to leave. And I ended up ending it early because I was like on the brink of tears. Just, I'm overwhelmed already, and now I'm feeling like I'm incompetent at my job, and the whole rest of the day I was like, I'm ready to go home.
I'm sorry.
But, like, that's what happens to me. Like, when I get really stressed and overwhelmed, I then start critiquing myself because you should be handling this better. You're good under pressure. You know, you procrastinate and everything.
But just because we are doesn't mean we have to be.
You know? Okay, my therapist. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a lot of insight that I can share. Do I listen to it? No.
You can say it, but you can't accept
absolutely.
it for you.
Yeah, that's why I think that song was my go-to now. Because absolutely, I can tell you until I'm blue in the face what you should do, but am I going to do it? No. Yeah. But I think, had you not said anything, I never would have caught on that you were so overwhelmed yesterday.
Good.
You put a good face on.
I have to. And that's, I feel like the stress of my job specifically, and you guys might feel the same way about your positions too, but I feel like I have to have it all together all the time because I'm everyone's like go-to leader.
It's us. It's us. Like, not trying to sound conceited or like I have a fucking chip on my shoulder, but literally it is us. We have to have our shit together. We have to know what we're talking about. We have to have a united front. And anytime with that, I feel like, I don't fucking know. I'm always like, well, what did Sarah say? Instead of like, I know what Sarah said. I know exactly what she said.
Be
but
confident.
Then exactly.
So you know.
Yeah. But I will say, as I'm very proud of you today, because normally you will say, yeah, we can go talk right now. And today you were not yourself. And instead of saying, yeah, I have like a few minutes to help you, you were like, I don't have time today. Like, I cannot do it. And I love that you set that boundary for those people.
Thanks.
Because like we had talked about, I don't know how much we want to say online, but it is okay to not have it all together all the time. And to just tell staff members, I'm sorry, but I mentally cannot handle that right now. And you don't have to be put all together. And if they expect you to, like, well, you're the director, you're the co-therapist, or you're the lead, or you're the coordinator, whatever it is, that does not mean I'm not a human being and I'm not burnt out either. So expecting to have my time every day, 5+ minutes of it every day, that is not fair. But I loved, I wanted to tell you that. Very proud of you for setting a boundary.
Good job. I just did not have it in me.
That's okay.
So, and sometimes you just have to stand up for yourself. And I think that's what we all have to learn sometimes because we don't know how to do that because part of ADHD comes with all of the negative, people pleasing and the self-doubt and the low self-esteem. So you're like, I'm just going to try to people please out my butt so that people like me or think that I know what I'm doing or all the silly things. When you're inside, you're like, everything is so crazy and I don't know which way is up. Oh God, but I'm outside.
On fire and I'm drowning.
Yeah, literally. It's the little meme where it's the guy who's sitting at the bar and it's on fire and he's like, everything is fine. I'm fine. And that's me all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
I like to think, though, that I don't show how overwhelmed I get to the people.
You do.
I think in private.
With you guys, I will be like, fuck, I'm done.
I mean, you need a vent, and that's okay.
I feel, though, like this week, a lot of my frustration did show a lot with certain staff members or certain situations that happened, and I felt
Yeah.
like this whole week I was really on myself, like, why the fuck are you letting this get to you? You don't normally let it get to you. And so this week I kind of, because of how dreaded it was, and it wasn't even like one specific thing, I think it was just a heavy week because of everything.
Yeah.
Your whole schedule was changed. There was so much to do.
Yeah. And I was just so ticked off by this tiniest thing.
Yeah.
I had no sympathy for people, and I felt really bad.
Compassion fatigue is a real thing.
It absolutely is. And I know we had talked about that. And I was at my limit of like, I don't fucking care
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I think I told you that earlier. I was like,
Yes.
just tell him.
Yes. No, I understand. I get it. And you just have to roll with the punches, and you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
You know, even though we struggle with managing things and focusing and our strengths and our weaknesses, you just gotta do what you gotta do. I feel like a lot of people just don't have that mentality these days. In work, in school, like overcoming adversity. Like, yeah, ADHD isn't like the most crippling thing, but there are people who have it like so severely that they can't go finish school, that they can't hold a good job because their brain is just really struggling, you know? So,
and a lot of... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just saying, a lot of people who have ADHD have the anxiety and the depression
Yeah.
that come along with it. So now you've got the ADHD on top of, now I'm really anxious. Oh, I'm like, you have like, you're really, like, you have your highs and then you just hit low, like,
Core
hard.
memory unlocked.
What?
I remember I was in 8th grade. And I was in such a depressive mode. I didn't know what to call it. I didn't know I was depressed. I didn't know what was happening. I just remember nothing was making me happy. I was moping around. I was walking around. I legit was a zombie. And I remember my dad saying, "What is wrong with you? Are you okay?" And I go,
wow.
"Yeah." He goes, "Well, you're just not happy. What's the matter?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm fine."
Yeah.
But it also was in that time of era where, well, first off, my dad doesn't talk about emotions anyways.
Yeah.
So him thinking maybe something upset me. It didn't click with me until I was a new mom and I had postpartum depression, that it clicked that I also had depression prior to this.
Oh.
And so a lot of the things where I'm like, that makes sense. Depression linked with ADHD makes sense to all the shit that was happening back then. Of, wow, I really honestly believe I've had depression my entire life. We just didn't talk about it and we didn't call it that. So,
Same.
sorry that
Feel that
knocked the whole core memory.
No, you're
for me.
fine.
Same.
I just always think about it. Like, I think I was like watching a TikTok or something about ADHD. They're like, yeah.
The darker side, right? The one you sent me?
I think it was the darker side. Like, majority of people with ADHD, you suffer from anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
So, like, it's even harder to manage your ADHD. 'Cause you're like, you're anxious and then you're depressed.
Yeah.
Like, but then, like, you are so happy being depressed.
You don't know anything different.
And you don't, so you're like, there's longest time I was depressed and was like, oh, like, I feel wonky. And then you're like, oh, this makes a lot of sense.
I wasn't just feeling wonky, I was actually going through a depressive
I was
episode.
going through depression on top of anxiety. This is great. Great combo.
My therapist labeled me unipolar depressed.
What's that?
Really?
That when I get my lows, they're really low.
Oh.
And I had lows, like, the fuck does that mean? So I'm not bipolar, I don't have ups and downs, I just have downs.
Oh.
Okay, so you go back to like stable and then
Yeah.
Goes down.
But when the downs hit, they are low. I'm never like suicidal. I don't think I've thought like, oh, well, what would happen? Like, I've always had those intrusive thoughts of, what would happen if so-and-so, like, ran through the site and hit me? Or what would happen if I just blah, blah. I had the intrusive
every day
thoughts.
driving home. What would happen if I drove my car over here?
Right. But I never actively thought about, like, suicide.
Yeah.
But when I get low, and I'm in that low, and these lows will last probably weeks, where I literally do not move from my bed. Even with Nova, it takes forever to get me out of the bed just to function with her.
Yeah.
And I know, like, at the time, I'm just like, I just want to lay down. I just want to do this. I just want to do that.
Like, you're just really tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no energy. Like, talking is hard.
Oh, yeah. Responding to text messages. Right? I think there's times where I just don't talk to you guys.
Yeah, which is fine.
If someone send the most outrageous TikToks, I don't look at any of them. And not because I don't want to, but like, there was a time, honestly, a couple weeks ago, where I was in my mode, and it was probably right before my birthday, and I was so depressed that I wasn't talking to anybody.
Yeah.
for I think a solid month, it was like that. Where if it wasn't at work, I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah. No, I get that way too. I get it. That stuff's hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult.
Yes.
But you do a great job.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
You do.
It's the funny ones you have to watch out for.
it really is.
It really
It's not
is.
the quiet ones anymore.
That's why we're all in therapy.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Shout out to my therapist.
I
You
dropped my
rock.
therapist.
Really?
Come on.
Yeah, I dropped her because it's been so hard at work lately. I've had big classes and I just had no time. Remember I told you all this.
I know. I know you were going to try and schedule another appointment with her and see. Okay, well, I'm going to put you in touch with my therapist.
I was gonna say, I'll
I
give you
think
my
she has-
therapist
I think she
stuff
has some
too.
openings.
Well, yeah, it's because her schedule is so hard.
Yeah, no, my therapist can do like later ones. I'll
Yeah, mine was like
reach
5
out
or
to
6
her.
o'clock.
That would be perfect. That's what it was
Yeah.
originally, but then she like kept moving it up, and it was like my latest is at 3, and I was like, I don't get done with work till 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reach out to mine or Cats and see.
The last time I had
They're
therapy
great.
was the beginning of February.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I need my therapist.
No, I need it too, and I was sad because I literally liked my
Yeah.
therapist. And I was really sad. She actually messaged me, and I couldn't open the message, and so it's just me sitting there, and I have no idea what she said, but it was probably something really sweet, and I'm like,
Aww,
I can't open it.
that's sad.
Yeah.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
that's some deep stuff.
That was some deep stuff.
Thanks for sharing, guys. Thanks for
You're welcome.
My beer is empty.
Oh, mine's not.
Mine's not easy, but
So I think it's time we end
Yes.
our podcast so that I can make some dinner because I'm starving
I know, I'm
Marvin
hungry.
right now. And I'm also a little spinny because I haven't really eaten much. I just drank all that. So.
I'm a little spinny.
I'm also like the lightest weight that anyone's ever heard of. So
I'm really not a lightweight. I can handle my alcohol.
I really don't drink.
I don't know.
I'm also lightweight, but yeah. Anyway.
I mean, y'all saw my. You probably didn't really see it, but I mean, kind of a little bit on
Yeah, kind
Halloween.
of saw a little bit of Halloween.
I've seen it, experienced it, and it's full force.
I've just heard stories. Y'all. Anyway.
That is a
Anyways.
conversation outside of the
Yep. Yep. Different
Yep.
conversation. But hopefully tomorrow we all survive.
Tomorrow's Friday,
And
guys.
And it's the
It's gonna
weekend.
be
Whoop,
a
whoop.
great day.
And it's the weekend, and we can all work on our coping strategies for a better week next week.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
it's gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Yes.
It's gonna be okay.
So next week, join us on, I think we decided hyperfixations.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll be talking about hyperfixations, and we actually have some guest stars.
Special
So,
guests.
join us next week
Mhm.
when we talk about different things that we are very interested in.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, don't spill your secrets just yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all giving you this murder.
Okay, bye.
Bye.